Hello and welcome to your daily mobile game sizzle with me, Jon Jordan. Today we're looking at the news that Glu Mobile is announcing some restructuring. So it's losing 107 jobs from two studios in the US. One's a studio in Long Beach, Los Angeles, and the majority of the redundancies are happening from its Bellevue studio in Washington near Seattle. Now, what seems to be happening here is the Washington studio works on its celebrity games. So it's had a run of celebrity games. We're looking at Nicki Minaj, The Empire in the video running in the background. It's also had Britney Spears, and it's got one coming out with Taylor Swift later in the year, and obviously the famous one, Kim Kardashian, is the one that's made it all the money. So Kim Kardashian has been a hit. The other ones haven't been hits. So that celebrity game franchise idea hasn't been a success, and it's quite expensive because you have to pay the guys royalties. So it seems like Glu is probably stopping development of those kind of games. We know it's got the Taylor Swift one still to come in 2017. Not been any announcement about that, but we assume that's still happening. But in the meantime, it's losing some jobs. It may even lose some more jobs. So the studio in Long Beach in Los Angeles is actually its studio that does kind of racing games. So it does Racing Rivals is its big game. It's actually been quite a successful game for Glu. Glu acquired the developer behind that a couple of years ago, and that game kind of turns over, getting on for $25–30 million a year. But what's happening is that game is being taken away from that studio, and it's been given to a new studio called Carbonated, which is a new startup from some veterans, actually some EA guys who worked on Madden. So they're taking over the kind of what they call the live ops on Racing Rivals, and they're also working on, we assume they are, at least they're working on some a new game. We don't know, there's no details of what those guys are up to. And the Long Beach studio, they're working on a game that's currently in soft launch. If that game does well, they'll continue. If that game doesn't do very well, they'll all lose their jobs. It's probably another kind of 30 jobs to be lost there. So obviously making people redundant is sad for the people involved, and also costs Glu money. So he reckons it might cost them about $5–6 million in terms of kind of restructuring costs and redundancy costs. However, Glu says that by the end of the year it will probably have the same amount of staff as it has, having sacked these 100 or maybe 140 people. That's because it's going to expand its operations in San Francisco, which is its main HQ, which has been not so much linked on development. It looks like there's going to be some more development in there, and also in Hyderabad in India. So Glu has quite a big studio in India. I'm not sure what kind of games it develops. I think it's done some of the shooter games, but certainly for live ops, it makes sense to have those in slightly cheaper countries. And actually Glu over the last couple of years, because it's been loss-making and it's still loss-making, has been doing quite a bit of restructuring. So it's lost a couple of studios in the States, and also shut down its Beijing studio in China. So it seems like a big announcement. I kind of think more it's kind of a housekeeping operation for Glu to get rid of some offices. Doesn't really save any money really in the short term. But kind of makes it more efficient, hopefully, in the long term. And obviously now we're looking really to see for Glu what will happen in 2017. So we've got this Taylor Swift game. Did a big acquisition at the end of 2016 in buying Crowdstar, which is about a 90-strong company. So it's added to its payroll with that. They're based in San Francisco. They've got a game just come out called Design Home that seems to be doing quite well. So we're interested to see for Glu's next financials how well that game has been monetizing. And then obviously Glu will be announcing kind of more games, and I'm sure there'll be these racing games coming out of this new Carbonated studio. Well, we assume that they might not be racing games. I don't know. Maybe they'll be sports games. But it'll be interesting to see what those guys come up with. So definitely an interesting year for Glu. We should keep an eye on what's going on. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to get all your mobile game daily sizzle.